Hey there, I'm Albert with NPC Forge, and in this video I'm going to show you how I create a fully populated village with NPCs, relationships, quests, plot hooks in some minutes using NPC Forge. This is going to be for a game that I'm going to do next week with 4 friends. It's going to be for D&D, but you can apply this to any setting you want, okay? So in order to start, you always have to have here in the world setting, your campaign and your world setup. As you can see, the description is not really long because you don't need it to be that long. I have a longer description. I think it's like 18 pages at this point in Google Docs with lore of my setting, but you don't need that here. You just need like the general, the overall mood, as it says here, right? Overall mood and dangers, major historical events, so general things, right? Because then the engine is going to take this in order to create everything else. So I'm gonna start in a village, I think. So I'm gonna create a village here. I always start with world elements and then I move it somewhere else. This is the feature that allows you to build anything, any location, any city, monster, religion, anything, you name it. So we go to village, and then I'm going to create, let's go for a peaceful riverside village built around an old stone bridge with a crumbling watchtower. No one is allowed to enter. Let's go for this, right? I'm just improvising these things to show you the how useful this is really, right? So I'll wait a little bit. There you go. So now I would usually review everything, make sure that I like it. Things that I don't like, I'll edit it. We can always edit later. But let's see. So we have region, we have, okay, livelihood. Of course, farm, yes, this is pretty normal. Important figures, so we have Elda, the wise villager. These NPCs, we're going to create them later. So we have Elda, Garrick, and Lirael. Okay. And then we have threats. Faces encroachment of dark creatures from the nearby cursed woods. Okay. And then hidden opportunities. Beneath the watchtower lies a hidden cellar filled with ancient relics. Great. This looks great. So I'm going to create it. And then I'm going to add an image just to have some art for my players, to share with my players. If I don't like it, I can just find another image and use that one. But I'll just do the generation here. Alright, there we have it. We have little here picture with the bridge. Looks a bit weird, but it's okay, I guess, for the players to get the feeling. And then I'm going to preview this. Sorry. There you go, because I'm going to use this information for later. So, sorry, I'm going to now that I have the village, I need to create it as a location here. So I'm going to open locations and factions on another tab. And I'm going to preview this. There you go. Alright, so now I don't have NPCs, I don't have locations, I don't have anything because I'm starting, from zero. So I'm gonna do a location. I'm gonna do custom prompts, and then I don't mind what I write here because I basically, since I have access to world elements, I'm going to use all the information there. So I'm just going to take now all this information and I'm gonna start pasting it here. So region. I need this. I'm doing this because then when I create the NPCs, it's gonna pull all this information later, and the NPCs will make more sense, right? So superstitions. I'll usually read all this and make sure that I like it. I'll review it, but I don't want you to go all over that process because you'll get bored if you're not bored already. I don't need the important figures here because I'll just create them later. So I basically copy paste everything except the important figures here, right? Because these NPCs are the ones that I'm going to create. So I confirm and create, and I have Bridgehaven, my first village, and I have it here in the system, right? All right, now it's time to build some NPCs. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to do with Quick Forge, prompt forging. And then I'm going to use the location that I just created. And then for the character prompts, now I need these NPCs. So we have the important figures in this village are Elda, Garrick, and Lirael. So let's do Elda first. So these prompts, as you can see, is quite small. Just the wise villager elder who holds the history of Bridgehaven. I could add more things here. To be honest, I'm not going to do that now. Just let's see what we get. And then as always, since we can edit everything later, we'll do so. But again, I'm not going to bore you with all that. So we have a board right here. We have everything here that we need. Usually, again, we'll read everything. Okay. Her knowledge of the watchtower cellar, let's see, is both a burning and okay. So she knows about what's going on in the cellar. That's neat. Okay. So that's one. Let's create the next one, which in this case, let's go Bridgehaven. This case is Garrick, the stern but fair watchman who enforces the village. Okay. Nice. So let's go here. Let's generate again. I'll pause it so you don't get bored. Okay, there you go. Garrick Thorn. We have everything. Respected yet feared. I like that. Garrick feels isolated despite his stern exterior, burdened by the secrets. Okay, what secret is that? Is the secret that there are things in the watchtower, right? I'm guessing. So, alright, since we're doing this quickly, we're not reading basically anything. This, okay, this mustache. Something happened here. I think we're going to redo it. We're going to generate it again. Because I feel that's a bit weird. And I usually, what I do is to share the... there you go, that's better. So I save it now. There you go. So I usually share the portraits with the players so they can actually see, right? Not many people like to do that because they prefer use their imagination. But in my case, in our case, my players and I always like more context. So let's do the last one. Oops. And the last one is going to be, it was here, Lirel, a skilled herbalist knows for her remedies. So this is going to be a woman, great. So Bridgehaven, there you go. Let's do an elven. Yes. Yes, that's why we have some other races there. Even though I have, you know, my setting is low fantasy, I always like to put, you know, other races here and there. So, alright, well, too beautiful, I think. But, okay, let's go with this. Weird nails, but I guess it's okay for now. Alright, so now we're gonna create 3 more NPCs, because that 6 is the number that I like. Right, 6 NPCs for a village. I think it's enough. So let's do again quick forging, Bridgehaven, and let's build an alchemist, right? Okay, an old alchemist who talks to plants and is convinced one of them is trying to warn her about something. Let's see. She is a bit crazy, and everyone in Bridgehaven think she's kind of weird. Let's go with this. Poor woman. Let's see what we get. Alright, we have Elda Thornroot. Poor thing. Her obsession and erratic behavior have only deepened the village's mistrusts. Okay. So, I have her. There you go. Let's do one more. Let's do one more instead of 6. So we need someone that takes care of a little store, blacksmith, something like that. So let's go for an ex-soldier turned blacksmith who refuses to forge weapons, only tools, for example, right? He's a dwarf, because I like my dwarfs as blacksmiths. I know it's traditional, but I like it. He's a dwarf. That's it. Yeah, this we have enough. All right, there we have him. I don't love the portraits, but we can always change it later. Boring as mantle. Okay. The ruined watchtower. Okay. All right. So now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build some relationships. Now it's time. So we have 5 NPCs. We have, many things going on here in this village, and we can always make it bigger. We can always make more NPCs, but I'm gonna start creating some relationships now between the NPCs, right? So I'm gonna create a relationship, and then let's go with. Oh, we have 2 Eldas. Oh no, I don't like that. This happens when you don't give a name. This can happen sometimes. So we're gonna change the name of Elda for, I don't know. Tiumka. A bit weird, but sounds, And then the backstory, we also have to edit it. Tiumka. And here also. Well, I can edit these things later, but let's go. All right. So relationships. Let's do the elder, the wise woman, Elda with. I feel like with the blacksmith, since they are both owls and dwarves live longer, let's make them romantic. No, let's make them friends, right? Let's make them friends. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we have here a full thing here. Okay, it's okay. Can you spare? Their bond grew. Okay, so they're friends. All right, amazing. Little backstory here. Elda trusts boring implicity of. Confiding in him about the cursed cellar. So Elda tells Boring about the cursed cellar beneath the watchtower. All right. Despite the difference, their friendship also carries an unspoken tension. Boring's hunted past and Elda's fear of the watchtower dormant sometimes clash. Okay. Revealing the front. Okay, so they basically have some differences there. And we have here the plot hook. So, the plot hook, sorry. I'll save the relationship. And here we can use this to build quests later, or to, to have them around, because these will be useful later on. So the hidden cellar beneath the watch has begun to stir, and Elda confides in the party that ancient relics are awakening. Okay. She and Boring ask the players to investigate before the war. Okay, so basically. Rumored rogue sorcerer threatening Bridgehaven. So here, what you can do with these things is to build quests and rumors and things around them for your players to find, right? So this is the power of this tool. So Boring also discovers strange magical corrosion eaten away. Suspecting connection to the cursed woods. He and Elda recruit the players to uncover the source. Okay, so another quest. And yearly river festival. Here we have a festival. An all-war comrade from Boring's past unexpectedly arrives in Bridgehaven. This is another NPC that we can create very quickly, seeking to reclaim the broken sword. Boring secretly keeps. So these things are amazing. I think so. You can pick the 3. You can just take one and use it to create quests around, right? So let's build another relationship because I don't want this video to be really long. So let's go Garrick with. Later, no, with Tiumka, why not? The crazy woman, and then we can go for. I kind of want romantic, but let's go for. Why not rivals? Let's see what we get with rivals. We can always change it or erase it and then create a new one if we don't like it. But let's see. Okay, so. Share a tense and bitter rivalry rooted deeply in their mutual dedication to protecting Bridgehaven. Okay. Divided by their methods and beliefs. Both are guardians, okay. But Garrick for strict vigilance, okay. And then Tiumka trusts in nature's subtle warnings. Okay, so they're basically rivals. They're not enemies, but they're rivals in their ways of protecting this village, right? Past incidents. This I like. Garrick once forbade her from investigating the watchtower cellar, dismissing her concerns, while Tiumka's alchemical accident years ago has left Garrick suspicious. Okay. Nice, I like that. So let's save this. Let's take a look at the plot hooks to see if we can take something from here. So, sudden surge of dark creatures from the coarse woods threatens Bridgehaven. Okay, secret letter is discovered, revealing that the watchtower's relic may hold a cure for the creeping blight. So there is a blight affecting local crops. The sentient vine begins to spread rapidly, entwining the watchtower and blocking access. So these things are great because, again, I can pull everything. So here, the power of this is that you can keep creating relationships between characters, and then use them for, I don't know why this is moving. This happens sometimes, but you can always change it, and you can edit the relationships. You can create new ones. You can add notes here if you need to, or notes to your characters, here's NPCs, and so on and so forth. So now we're going to create a quest. I can always create quests just by choosing the NPC and choosing a template and giving it a prompt. But I like to use the plot hooks from the relationships, because that way the quest includes different things, right? Or different characters. In this case, I liked this one. No, I like this one. The all war comrades from Borin's past. So I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna create a quest. So prompt quest. I'm gonna go with boring, and then I don't really know which template would it be, so I'm gonna go with standard, and then I'm gonna paste this. So during the this all threatens to unravel Borin's hard-won peace, draws Elda and the players into a web of light. Alright, let's see what we get. Okay, I have it here. Let's create it and let's view it. So we have, during the river festival, this person arrives, tensions rise. Okay, we should create this NPC, the former comrade, so we know who that is, but we can do that later. We have the hook. So Borin's past threatens the village peace, and you might help him confront it to protect. Okay. Uncover the truth behind all comrades' intentions. Okay, so basically, I think this quest would be great once the characters are there and they get to know Boring and they get to speak to some of these NPCs. Then we can have this other NPC arriving, right? Or maybe we can have these quests after they've done something for the village, a couple of things. Or maybe they've even investigated the watchtower a little bit. I don't know. So the key locations, of course, and then key NPCs, yes. This is not correct, probably, because... Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. So it's pulling also these for the quest, this NPC, right? Because so the way this works is that when you create a quest, it takes also into account the relationship that character has, or relationships. So in this case, he's pulling the relationship it has with Elda, and he's putting Elda here in the quest. All right. So now what I do, and this is the final step before finishing the video, because I can get lost and spend hours here building everything. So what I would do is I would take this whole information and I would go to the DM assistant, and I would basically develop it and make it bigger. So we have more information, and we have it. We can have some stats if we're using D&D, or you can basically make it longer, and then you can take it from here and you put it in your OneNote or Google Docs or whatever session planner or session writer you use, right? Okay, and that's it. We have some NPCs now. We have location with 5 NPCs. We don't have any factions yet, but this is just the beginning. And there you go. I hope you liked it, and see you in the next one. Okay, bye bye.